Chris Keys for Premier Guitar. Today I'm at Nashville's Basement East with Bartees Strange. It says right there on his guitar strap.
Yeah.
Mr. Strange, how you doing?
I'm good, dude. How are you?
Very well. I'm so glad we're able to do this. This is your last tour date, I believe, of the year.
Yes.
Busy year for you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure you're ready to be, I'm sure you're glad that it has happened, given the world we had lived in for years, but ready to probably take a break.
Yeah, it's crazy. I can't believe we've played so many shows in the last year and a half. Like, we started touring pretty heavy, like, last August, and it's been pretty nonstop since then.
Yeah.
So I don't have a lot of stuff booked for next year, so it's nice to kind of have a little bit of a, like, break. I can go home and record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you got a lot of ideas percolating.
Yeah.
And like I said, off camera, mutual fans. I guess Bartees is a big fan of the Rig Rundown. I'm a big fan of his. Live Forever, Farm to Table. Great records you guys should check out. I wore this in honor of one of the interviews he did with someone else, guitar related. He said, big reason why you play guitar is at the drive-in and Fall of Troy, which I was like, we're best friends. You know that scene from Step Brothers? That's exactly how I felt reading those interviews.
Oh my God, Omar Rodríguez-López, man, Thomas Erak, that's like, those are the best guitar players.
Yeah,
dude.
but it doesn't stop there for me. It's so interesting because I tell people, like, check out this guy, Bartees Strange. If the first song doesn't grab you, just wait, something will, because your music, your like music thesaurus and dictionary are so wide and so verse. It lends itself to so many different musical. I know that comes up in a lot of your interviews, but it is true that you incorporate so much different music and you create so much of it on your own in terms of like guitar stuff, but then also electronic stuff. So it's refreshing to have a guitar-driven band and artist, but still incorporate many other facets of music that's out there.
Yeah, I mean, I always kind of felt like I feel like people aren't really honest all the time with like what they're actually listening to.
Yeah.
You know, I think most people like a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even my friend, I grew up in like a pretty like country town, and everyone was like, oh, I just like country music. And I'm like, you like the Nelly record, dog. Like, you like Get Rich or Die Trying too. Yeah. You also like Leanne Rimes, you like Toby Keith, and you like Brad Paisley's guitar playing. But you also like freaking B2K and like pop songs and stuff. You know, oh, sorry, these are all really dated references. I'm talking about middle school Bartees.
Yeah,
right,
like 90s or early 2000s.
Yeah, 2003, the golden era of music, as everyone knows.
Yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, let's move on. We've done enough preface and dance around it. Let's get right into it. It's Gear Talk, and this is a guitar that you have used quite a bit. So tell me about it.
So basically, what we have here is a Gibson 335 electric guitar.
Electric Spanish for the new
electric Spanish for the people that are getting into the electric guitar market and haven't had a lot of opportunities to play them.
Yeah.
I love this one though. I bought it at Chicago Music Exchange. It's like a gorgeous burst. It's a Murphy Lab aged one, a custom shop one. It's pretty like sick, honestly.
Yeah.
It's the dopest 335 I've ever played. I remember like emailing them and being like, I normally at home my like baby guitar is a 1967 Epiphone Casino, cherry red, right?
Yep.
I love that guitar, but I'm always like too scared to bring it out. And so I wanted something that was big, but I also didn't want P90s. I wanted something a little bit more versatile.
Well, because I seen you with that 125.
Exactly.
The NPR thing.
And that thing sounds killer. But I've made modifications to it and made it really rare, and I'm afraid to bring that too.
Okay.
So it's funny when you start touring, you have all these things you love, and then you're like, I don't know if I'm at the level to protect those things, you know? So it's like you have that funny spot where you're like, I just got to bring things out of work, but you know, this is a really great piece, and like it kills, and it's versatile, very low output humbuckers, so I can get clean and it can chirp a little bit, but I can also like go off on it, you know, like get kind of crazy.
Yeah. Now, have you done anything to it besides anything else?
No.
Or I should say, have you done anything to it?
I've bled on it a lot. There's blood all over it.
What does that come? I mean, obviously, probably playing the guitar, but
I play with my hands most of the time.
That's right.
And I grew up playing hardcore music, so I don't give up. I don't back off.
Yeah.
It's just go for it, you know? My fingers are all Band-Aids and stuff.
Oh,
so
wow.
Yeah.
What do you use for strings?
These are 11 Diodario nickels, pure nickel strings, which I like on this guitar.
Okay.
They're bright but not too pingy. I like the pure nickel stuff. I hadn't really used them before. I feel like a lot of people, when they want like a different sound, they go to like a new guitar or a new amp.
Yeah.
I would encourage you to try different strings first.
Yeah.
Like I've been like just going through the Stringjoy stuff, Ernie Ball stuff, and then the Diodario stuff just stuck. And I really like the pure nickels on these, and I've been rocking that.
Now, I think talking about the music vocabulary that you have, a capo, which I know that gets used for different reasons, changing keys, but I hear, especially in the new record, like Mulholland Drive, I don't know if that's you or Dan, is like American football references, like the emo mathcore stuff. So I bring that up because we're getting to the capo. So what capo do you have? Do you have a preference?
You know, the capo that I love the most isn't here right now, R.I.P. My band is behind this camera, and they're all smiling because I lose 8 capos a tour.
Really?
I just can't keep. It's like I throw them on stage. It's like a mess. I play the song and I'm just like,
so not precious.
it's gone.
Okay.
But Diodario makes a sick one. It's got like the one you can like roll it.
Yeah.
It's like the Schaller one or whatever. Wait. Yeah, it's got
It's
like
the lock.
It's got the lock on it, which is really great, and it clamps really well, and it's long enough and flat enough that it works on this and my Jazzmaster.
Okay.
And normally I have issues where a capo will work on this because it's so flat, but when I put it on a Jazzmaster, it doesn't get the E string really well because So I really like that one for that reason.
Yeah. Okay.
This one's pretty good too. Jim Dunlop USA.
Hopefully we'll get some free ones in the mail.
Yeah.
Now, what should we know about this guitar when it comes to tuning? Does it ride in one particular tuning?
This one will be in standard or in Day, as I call it, D-A-D-A-A-E.
Okay.
Which is what I play heavy hard in. But I put it in DADGAD a lot. I move this sucker around. I don't know what it is about this one. It's probably because it's a custom shop one and it's like super nice, but like the G string doesn't really mess with me that much. And like the break angle on the neck is pretty flat for a Gibson.
Yeah.
And so I feel like I can throw it all over the place. I put it in all types of things.
Because it is a Gibson and you brought up the headstock, have you broke it yet?
No.
Okay.
I haven't broke it yet.
Next time you will.
I know.
By the next rundown, I mean.
I know.
Guaranteed.
I've committed to this guitar. I'm like, we're just gonna go through it together.
Yeah.
And it's okay because it sounds so good.
Well, let's move on to your other friends. I think, I don't want to have the 335 hog all the time.
Yeah. I don't have too many others. I got some cool ones.
Yeah, when you come to go on tour, besides keeping the ones that are sentimental or valuable at home for insurance reasons, what provokes you to make choices and what you take out?
Well, the set, first of all.
Yeah.
It really depends on what sounds I need. I felt like for this set, our sets are like super dynamic. So I need something that, I need 2 guitars that can play a lot of different songs.
Yeah.
And then one that's like a backup.
Yeah.
So I feel like between the 335, I can get through the whole set on a 335. I can also get through the whole set on a Jazzmaster because of the rhythm circuit. I use the rhythm circuit a lot. So I can get as dark as that 335, and I can also get bright. So I rock that.
You're one of the few people that embrace that circuit. A lot of people either strip it out or just have it taped off.
No, that thing is great. It's like such a trick, and you can use it as a kill switch. Like there's so many things you can do with that circuit. It's like underrated, extremely.
Well, let's talk about this space age thing.
Yeah, this guitar is made by a dude named Mike Baranik. It's called an RE1. This guitar is super sick. He built it for me after my first record, Live Forever, came out. On right here it says Never Died because the record's called Live Forever, and my signature has a little smiley face, and he put one on there for me. The pickup slides.
Ooh.
It's a gold foil that he handmade. You've got like a whammy bar. It's like the Duesenberg tremolo. There's also mutes here that rind up, so you can get like an acoustic kind of chunky chuck sound with it, which is nuts. It sounds freaking rad.
How did this friendship start? I know he's a fan, but like, how did someone that builds guitars? Oh no!
Everything good that has happened to me in my life has been because of Instagram in the last 2 years. I've met so many people on Instagram.
That's true.
Like especially during the pandemic, like that was the only way anyone was like meeting new people.
Yeah.
And I saw this dude, Eric Slick, drummer for Dr. Dog.
There you go.
And a bunch of other folks, and Natalie Prass. Like,
okay, yeah.
He's dope. He's a cat, Tennessee cat, but from Philly, I think. But he was getting one made. And he was like, you should hit him up. I think he likes your music. And I hit him up, and he was down, built it for me. Now I have 2 of them. Locking tuners on the back. Fully custom, like, and it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
Plays so well. Sounds beautiful.
Do you move the pickup? Like, obviously, I'm sure in experimental phases and in recording and stuff like that you do, but like on stage?
Yeah, I mean, like, the positions are so different. It's like literally neck bridge.
Yeah.
And then you've got like a tone cut. And it's like cuts all the bass out.
That is so wild. That looks like a little like oxygen thing like I'd need if I was hiking up the Appalachians.
It reminds me of Bubble Boy. Or like BioShock, if anyone's played that video game.
So what songs does this get used for?
Heavy Heart, most
Okay.
of the time. Just because I love how, honestly, this.
Which
That gold foil just.
people need to check that song out, and then if you guys see it live, you and Dan have like almost like a guitar combat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happens often because Dan's a bad dude and we fight a lot.
Just with guitars though.
Just like guitars.
Well, let's move on because I feel
Yeah.
like we got to get the other guys involved, and I don't want to take
Right.
too much time
The
from
band.
Pom Pom Squad as well. I know they need to get on stage and
Oh yeah, they got
sound check.
That's important. This guitar is sick. So this is a Jazzmaster. I have a 59 Jazzmaster that I love.
Yeah.
That I don't take on the road. And I was talking to my boy Jason at Fender, and I was like, dude, I want to take this Jazzmaster out, but I'm so scared. And he was like, send me all the specs, we'll build you one. And so
That's so cool.
I was like, okay, well, can I change the color? Because I've always wanted a matching headstock one. I've always wanted an Aztec gold one, and he went in on it. And
Yeah.
so that's what this is. It's just a custom shop Jazzmaster, anodized guard, gold on gold. Very, very cool guitar.
Anything specific about the pickups when you requested this build?
I was like, make them as period specific as you can to a 59.
Okay.
And they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like identical.
Can we hear it quick?
Yes, of course.
Now, is this one of the backups for these two?
This one is like, I start the set with this.
Okay.
I play like the first 4 songs with this guitar. And then I switch to the 335 for the rest.
What starts the set?
Ooh, the song Escape the Circus and then In a Cab.
Oh, Escape the Circus reminds me very much of like, it makes sense, Jazzmaster. It makes me think of like Kevin Shields. It's
Yeah.
very like 80s.
Yes. Kevin Shields is a great guitar player.
Yeah.
Really good dude.
Jazzmaster.
Yeah.
What about the rhythm circuit? How do you use that in conjunction with what you got going on your board here?
Yo, it's sick. Because then you can like have this in the bridge. Very different. But one's like a rhythm and one's like a jumper, you know?
One thing worth noting too is that at times you guys have 3 guitarists going. So as brash as that sounds probably right now, you need that to stand out.
Yes.
And so that's a thing that I'm sure you have to have balance as a 3 guitar band at times.
Yes, because dude, the wildest shit thing about it is like.
Oh, you can say that.
Oh, cool. The wildest shit about it is like, not only are there 3 guitar players, it's like 3 people that all have choices.
Yeah.
Really made some choices on the guitars. There's flying V's, SGs.
Yeah.
It's like tone capital of the world. So you have to poke. Like if you don't bring it aggressively, you're just gonna get smothered.
Does that make you the governor then of Tone Capital?
Yeah. Bartees Strange, governor of Tone Capital USA Incorporated LLC.
Glad to meet you, Governor.
Good to meet you, citizen.
Citizen Keys. Now I see an acoustic here. What?
Oh, we're not done.
What is this little gentleman?
This
used
acoustic
for?
guitar is cool. It's a little Gretsch.
Oh, fun.
Yo, I love this guitar. I found it at this little guitar shop in Nashville, or Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
Durham, North Carolina, what was it? It's cool. I got it because I had a couple nice acoustics, but I didn't want to bring them on the road. I wanted something with a pickup in it that didn't make a lot of hum.
Yeah.
And this one does a really good job of not sounding like Graham's very bright acoustic. It's, you know, pretty boxy and dark, which I thought was actually good because I felt like every time I saw an acoustic guitar, like in a live setting, it was bright and like annoying. And so this guy, pretty dark.
Oh, yeah.
And you can plug it into an amp. Pretty nice.
Yeah.
You can put a little vinyl thing on the end of it too if you want to get some wobble. and, you know, kind of be a little weird, but like it sounds better, I think, than a lot of DI'd acoustics. $180.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a score.
Yeah, crusher.
Yeah. Maybe we'll get you back on the 335 Bartees, and then we'll talk about your amp real quick, which I have a question.
Yeah.
Started with the Voxes, I know. And then you made a change, at least recording-wise. Maybe live too, you can correct me, but you're a Fender guy, Fender amp guy now.
Yeah, mostly.
But I see a AC30 behind us. What gives?
Well, I've been rocking...
tell Tone Capital.
Well, okay.
Governor.
In Tone Capital USA, things change. The weather, all types of things. And I honestly, like, the three of us are always kind of looking at each other like, what is not right with the amp? Is it an amp? Is it a guitar? Like, there's dysfunction in Tone Capital. And so I was like, for this tour, I want to try an AC30 again, because I grew up playing AC30s.
Yeah.
And I stopped because I heard a Fender that sounded really good, and I was like, Lowe's. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I love that. And did that all through my 20s. And then they sent me this AC30, and I played it, and I was like, oh my God, crisp highs. So nice.
Yeah.
And with the 335, it was just like this meat in the middle that I didn't realize I was missing. And I was running out of headroom with the Vibrolux I was using.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know what to do. And I like it. It sounds really good. And it's got El Nico Blues in it, which I couldn't afford. But now with the new Vox stuff, like, it's a little cheaper and you can get blues in it without it being hand wired.
Yeah.
And I thought that was cool. And I liked how it sounded. It sounds great. I mean, I grew up playing a lot of country music. You know, it sounds like, it's just like a honker.
Yeah, it
which
does.
is nice.
Now, let's dive right into the pedal board here.
Yeah.
What's going on? Walk us
Okay.
through what you got and how you're using it.
Tuner, Polytune, good tuner.
Yep.
First thing. But this is cool. I used to play like the blues drivers a lot. And then my friend was like, this is like a really nice blues driver. You should check it out, the Bondi Breakers. I really love this pedal. I use it in like a pretty, I wouldn't say transparent. It definitely kicks a little bit. But it's not like sending me through the roof.
No.
I'll use it on a song where I need like something just a little bit more than a clean sound to cut through a little bit with the other two guitar players who are being very loud. After that, this is like a Land Devices HP driver. A lot of people use it as just like a preamp on a really low gain setting, but I think it's like the coolest lead sound. And it kind of does like a P90 breakup thing, which I love, because I'm always recording with my Casino at home, but I don't want to bring it. So it does like a P90 kind of thing, which I like.
What did you use on Lady Luck? Because that's a single of yours that I really love, and that the back end of that song has some nasty tone.
Yeah, man. That is my Casino cranked through like a 72 Vibro Champ that I just ripped.
So just amp?
Yeah, it's just amp.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's what that sounds like. It's that like wiggity ass breakup that those old P90s do on those Gibsons, and it's like one of my favorite sounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's carry on with the parade.
Got a box of rock here. I mean, pretty self-explanatory. I love that.
Yeah.
I just got this pedal. I've been having overdrive and distortion issues since 2012.
Wow.
It's been 10 years of,
You're a long sufferer.
of weird distortion and overdrive in my life. And then I got this like a couple weeks ago, and I was like, oh, this solves all my problems. It's sick because the channels are independent of each other.
That's cool. Can you run? I haven't owned one, but can you run them into each other, or are they like separate?
You can run them into each other depending on what you press first.
Got it.
Which is lit. Because a lot of times this boost is dope. It's sick. So I'm a big fan of that pedal. After that, I've got a DM3, an old one. I mean, it's kind of messed up, but that's why it's good. It's so old that it's just like hanging in there and sagging, but
well, you kind of probably like the sag because it's
Exactly.
reminiscent of those tape echoes that you use in the studio.
exactly. And you can do the oscillation stuff, which is nice. I like to do that a lot during the set. So a nice analog delay. You know, the Line 6 delay was modeled after this.
The DL4?
Yeah, on the DL4, it's the DM3 delay. So yeah, I learned that in high school. After
What
that,
class did you learn that, or just like?
general life studies.
Okay, extracurriculars.
Thuggin'. This next one is a cool compressor, dude. It's like a 2-channel one. You can control like the compression amount, and you can have a boost right after it, which is super dope. And like the lights light up to tell you what's popping.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, and you got 2 channels, which I use the second channel is just a straight up boost. So it's which is cool when you're switching between a 335 and a Jazzmaster.
Yeah, it can help equalize the volumes.
Yeah, you can like have some world. This is by Farm Devices, or Farm Pedals, I think. It's a farm up, I think, in Maine, where they like farm all year, but in the winter, there's nothing
pedals?
to do, so they make pedals. And this is a tremolo, and it's amazing sounding. And it's got a ramp.
Oh, wow, that's nice.
Amazing, and it's got a gain on it.
Is that in place or overriding the Vox? Because sometimes they come with vibrato.
I don't use that vibrato.
Okay.
I like this one a little more because I can ramp it with my
Yeah.
feet and I don't got to turn around.
Yeah.
When you got to set and you got to be tight and cute and you got to make it like just flow really perfectly, I can't turn around much.
Yeah.
So also, this pedal's really cool. It's a delay pedal. It's got like all sorts of delays. I like to use the tape setting. It's a rewind. I think this is by Matthews Effects.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's a tape.
Yeah.
You can control the wow and the flutter and the drive and the gate. Very cool. And the age of the tape.
Wow.
Pretty sweet.
That's a unique setting.
Pretty
Or
dirty.
variable.
This guy is very fun. It's a Fairfield circuitry pedal. It's their modulation pedal that they make. Shallow water, I believe it's what it's called. It's sick because there's a low pass gate that reacts to how your fingers are, how hard it's hitting the strings.
The dynamics.
Yes, which I've always wanted in modulation pedals. So if you go in on it, it'll dip, and you
Yeah.
can control like the amount and like if it's a quick dip or if it's spread out, being more like a chorus.
Rather than being like that neurotic guy that's going down, up, down.
Exactly. Weird. This is by a company called Obsidian, this black one with the gold knobs. It's like something between like a rat and like a freak, like spitty fuzz. The sucker's just loud and it's just great.
Let's hear it.
Like. And it's cool because you can hear all the strings still.
Yeah.
Like even though it's fuzzy, you have articulation. And I do a lot of open strings in the back. All that is still there, and that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a blooper here, which I use for a couple songs. Like I have just not, I don't use it as a looper. I use it more as like a sample triggerer.
Okay.
You know, for Black Gold. My parents, my whole family is on that thing.
That's rad.
Yeah, President and my family start stalking through the things. Yeah, it's cool. It's thinking right now, but I'll show you after. Oh, there it goes.
Oh, yeah.
And then I start. Love that. And there's all types of incredible functions on the blooper. You can chop it into bits and it randomly takes the sample and rearranges it. You've got gates and you can cut the filter and you can get really wild with that pedal. I've had it for like a year and a half and I still don't, I'm like amazed by it all the time. It's a really great recording tool because you can sequence it with MIDI and like lay it out over a track and do some wild shit, which I did a lot.
Is insane.
It's stupid. Chase Bliss is a fool. I also got this Ventris audio, or Source Audio, they make a Ventris. It's a dual reverb. Awesome pedal. Every kind of reverb you've ever want, from like big domes to halls. You can change the size of things. Beautiful spring reverb sounds, shimmers, reverse reverbs. There's also a delay on it. There's MIDI. You can download different.
As I say, and then you can get into an app and then get
yeah,
lost.
I mean, you can go nuts. I mean, I use it for so many things. It's like not even. It's like I have so many presets on this thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's a game changer, amazing pedal for sure. So, I mean, and that's basically it. I mean, I've got a couple radio boxes. This is how I talk to my front of house engineer, Kitsy, or to the rest of the band.
Got it.
And this is like proprietary Apple
secret.
software that they would kill me if they found out that I even had.
Yeah, I signed an ND, and then you told us about it earlier off camera, but can't say anything about
Sorry.
this.
Shout out to you, Tim Cook. You've helped us out a lot, dog.
That's what happens when you're the governor of Tone Capital.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places like this place.
Bartees, we're going to talk to Dan and Graham.
Cool.
Thank you so much for your time.
All right, thank you, and thank you guys. Y'all are the best.
All right, we're over here with Graham, who covers not only guitar but keyboard, but this is a guitar show, so we're going to keep it on guitar.
Yeah.
Graham, tell me about this Flying V.
So I just got this for this tour.
Awesome.
And I kind of got it because I thought, like, what's the most ridiculous thing that I could bring on stage?
Yeah.
And then slowly discovered that it's like the most comfortable guitar I've ever had.
Really?
Because the upper fret access
Yeah.
is like incredible. It sounds great. It stays in tune really well. It's been. I was planning on using it for like a couple songs, and it's been almost the whole
Wow.
set now. Yeah.
Have you done anything to it, or is it
No,
just
no,
as
it's all
you
stock.
bought it? Oh,
All
okay.
stock.
What strings do you run? I know Bartees was saying he runs 11s from Diodario.
Yeah.
What do you run?
Just 10s.
Okay. Same thing, Diodario?
Yeah.
Why 10s?
It's what it came with.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
I'm just not picky.
Yeah, you get used to it. You're kind of get in the pocket.
Yeah, exactly.
And what tunings does this guitar live in? I know that you guys have various tunings.
Yeah, I'm actually just in standard
Okay.
the entire night.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that just to keep your job easier, or that's your parts in the songs?
It's just the parts in the songs and how it's shaken out.
Got
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Well, can we we'll probably come back to this when we get to your pedal board quick, but let's get introduced to some of your other friends.
So this used to be the number one, and now it's, I think, on 2 songs.
All right.
But still great. It just like has a little more gristle than
Yeah.
that has, and it cuts in an interesting way.
And I assume these are P90s,
Yeah.
not like some P90 housed humbucker?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, and again, just all stock 10s.
How long have you had it?
2 years, I think. Yeah, relatively new.
Well, let's hear this Gold Top quick.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so what song? You said only a few songs, so what songs?
Yeah, so sometimes I've been playing Kelly Rowland on the acoustic, but usually I kind of left it on. Breaks up in an interesting way to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And what should we know about the acoustic as you grab it here?
Yeah, so it's an Orangewood, I think it's called a Sierra.
Oh, all right. From here, it looks like a Dreadnought style. Dread?
It's a...
Or
it's
maybe
actually,
an OM.
It's a... I think it's an OM.
Okay, yeah, it looks a
But-
little smaller.
It's just going direct, nothing fancy. It's got a Bags anthem and E standard.
What song do you use that for? What songs?
Just Black Gold.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. Well, keeping this moving right along, I'm going to ask you kindly to get the Flying V back.
Yes.
So as you get the V back on, plugged back in, what are you actually plugging into on the other end of the cord?
So it's a 68 Custom Deluxe. I
Okay.
think it's the new 68 silver face.
How'd you land on that?
The custom side is a basement tone circuit,
Okay.
and I plugged into that because I liked Deluxes generally,
Mm-hmm.
but there was something about plugging into the basement side that was just like it had a little extra punch and a little
Yeah.
extra grit that just totally did it.
Cool. And so that's, I'm assuming, stock
Yeah.
speaker.
All stock, all stock.
All right. And now we're diving into your pedal board, which has only 4 pedals.
Yeah, because everything else is complicated.
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah.
trying to like get as simple as I can.
Yeah. So what do you have here at your feet?
Yeah, so this MS3 is modulation, delay, reverb, anything like that is just
Oh.
coming out of that.
Okay, so I assumed it was just a switcher, like almost an effects switcher they have.
That was originally why I got it, and then
I didn't know it had anything built in
in
like
learning more about it, I found that out.
Oh, okay.
I was like, oh, I could actually get rid of like half of my pedal board
Yeah.
and just use this. But I feel like the one thing they don't do that well are gain pedals.
that. Yeah.
So just everything else is for gain staging.
All right, well, walk us through the pedals that are here.
Yeah, so this is the double barrel's just always on. Does it come on? Yeah, no, it's always on for the entire set. I throw on the other side for Boomer. Yeah, just for Boomer. The 385 comes on in the end of Boomer and during Mulholland Drive.
Oh, all right.
The Black Mass is for...
Can we, I'm sorry to cut you off there.
No.
Can we hear it, the two sides of it?
Yeah, for sure. So...
Now, is the double barrel, I'm not familiar completely with the circuitry.
Yeah.
Is it like a boost drive, or is it like two separate drives?
No, two separate drives.
Okay.
The left side is like a blues breaker sort of circuit, and the right side is like a tube screamery sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. And then, like I asked Bartees, with the box of rocks, you can run it. Can you run the two circuits into each other, or are they independent?
They're totally independent. You can go. There's a little switch in the middle there, so you can control which side is going.
Oh, okay.
Into which one.
And do you have the left side hit the right side?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then what are the three other pedals we got here up top?
Yeah. So this is a Walrus 385. It's supposed to be like the amplifier section of a film projector, I think.
Oh yeah.
It's like a Blake Mills thing that he was doing. And it just... It just has like a little crispy sort of thing in the mid-range.
Yeah.
And it's really only for Mulholland Drive and Boomer.
Okay.
Just because it seems to, because they're three guitar players, it just needs something to be different.
You guys are like I know that he's no longer in Tulsa, but he's like, you guys are like the Tulsa Skinner with three guitar players.
Yeah.
At times. So what else we got up here? Black Mass, not familiar.
Yeah, so it's a company out of Salem, I think.
Okay.
And that one's like a rat sort of circuit, but it's got, I think, 8 different clipping modes.
Oh, wow.
So I'm on, I think it's a LED clipping sort of thing.
All right.
And that is for like the heavy heart solo and part of Escape the Circus.
Okay.
So. That sort of sound.
Yeah, it makes those harmonics jump.
Yeah.
And what's the last but not least?
Is same company. It's called the First Herald. It's like a muff style fuzz. But it's got a tweakable mid-range scoop, so you don't get totally lost with everybody else. And that sounds like... And that's just on he has a cover of Lemon World that he does.
Yeah.
So it's just for the choruses of that.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Bartees, but we're kind of running out of time, was that he has like a certain affinity for the National. Yeah, because you guys have a couple covers,
yeah.
Which is cool that you guys incorporate that. I know that you did that on the deluxe edition of Live Forever.
Yeah.
You had the cover on there, and it's cool that you guys are still embracing that. But Graham, I really appreciate your time. Yeah. I know we got to talk to Dan real quick, but we're going to do that right now. Certainly, last but not least, this is Dan. Dan, how you doing?
I'm doing well.
I bet you are.
Yes.
With all the times I've asked you, because we edited that shit out. Tell me about this SG.
Yeah, so this SG is it's new of last year.
Okay.
Gibson helped me out with it. I had some vision for it. It was almost like a kind of aesthetic first, honestly. I was like, it would be really cool to play an SG Junior for this gig. Yeah. I hope I like it.
Yeah.
It was kind of the thought, and I did.
Kind of like with Graham with the V.
Yeah, a little bit. Yes, and it took me it wasn't until we got the in-ears that it started to click for me.
Okay.
Because the P90 in the bridge position was I had trouble hearing it kind of cut when we were just working off of stage monitors and just live amps.
Yeah.
But then once I got it closer to the ear, it made a lot more sense to me, and now it's kind of the main guitar that I use on a gig. But I threw a Bigsby on it, and I may eventually change the pickup out, but I'm kind of rocking with it now. So this is just a stock P90.
I got to ask a really dumb question, but if I didn't, someone would, slander me in the comments. Yeah. Knobs.
Oh.
They look different. Is there a reason?
Not particularly, except that my friend Doc Mendelsohn, Eric Mendelsohn, who is a guitar guy in New York, helped me out just working on this, and he did this little push-pull situation, and I think this was like the knob that he had, and I was like, that's awesome. I kind of, one of my original visions for this was to kind of look like it kind of had a black eye a little bit. Yeah. You know, so we'll see. I kind of want it to kind of deteriorate. That's what I'm hoping for.
Now, what does the switch do?
I think there's a little like a boost. It cuts the high a little bit, and there's a little like mid bump. But I honestly don't use it that much. Okay. But I probably will someday in some context. But right now, I just kind of like using it wide open.
Got it. Now, is this maybe like your main guitar, or do you use all the 3 instruments you have with you right now equally, or is this like your main one?
This is kind of the main one for this set, at least. And then the Telly, and then I use that Silvertone on Hold the Line, just one tune.
I'll save you from playing right now in terms of, we'll get that with the pedals, because that sounds like your main guitar, but let's talk about these other 2 over here.
Yeah, so this Telecaster I'll go to next. This Telly was my dad's, and he's just gave it to me kind of on a permanent loan at the moment.
That's cool.
But it is a '98, I believe, American Thinline, and it is an amazing sounding Telly.
It's funny, I didn't say this to the boss man Bartees, but you guys in different formats and different like performances either have all or at least one representing a Telly, and you're the lone Telly man.
I am the lone, and there have been times when I think we've all had Tellys.
Yeah.
But yes, but this is a really special Telly. My dad put a 4-way switch. Okay. And I do use this little humbucker sometimes as like a boost. In Heavy Heart, I use this guitar, and it mostly lives on the neck. It's a really beautiful sounding neck, and then I'll sometimes boost it when I kind of feel like I need to. It's gig to gig, honestly.
Can we hear it real quick before we move on? Just give it a taste test.
Absolutely. Let me dial in a little of the Heavy Heart sound for this. Something like this. Oh, sorry. That would be the humbucker, actually.
Okay.
But and then you might get. Nice.
Yeah.
I love this guitar.
I love how warm that neck pickup is, especially in the humbucker mode.
Yes.
Do you know if your dad bought it brand new in '98?
I don't believe so.
It's more of a question for him, but I'm just curious.
But I think he got it a little bit later, but it probably wasn't that much later, honestly. Okay. It was fairly. I was a younger person then. Yeah. And I always admire, I mean, it's such a beautiful Telecaster. Yeah. And actually, the same guy who helped me work on the SG put these Gretsch knobs on this. Yeah, that's great. I don't know. I'm kind of in a phase where I kind of like messing with the guitars.
Yeah. Did you get that okayed with Dad before?
Yeah. Again, he gave me his blessing to I think he's happy that I'm using it on the road.
Yeah, that's rad. I love the binding in the black. It gives it like a tuxedo look.
Exactly. And then I guess I'll bring this. This is a cool, very special situation here. Yeah. So as I was saying, I use this on Hold the Line, but I have recorded with this guitar a lot since I've gotten it. But as you can see, part of the special thing with this instrument is that it has a built-in amplifier, which I use. But what's also cool about that is that you can switch between. So, for example, in Hold the Line, you can hear that. So, like, yeah, breaks up kind of cool. But then we hit the like the second verse, and I'll flip this on. That's not exactly my settings there, but. Play it in D sharp, E flat. Yeah. Which is what I did in the studio as well.
And then when it's on this little speaker mic setup, that probably gets pumped front of house.
So yeah, we're micing this, and also Shure helped me kind of figure this out as well.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
There it is.
Yeah.
very cool.
Yeah. Now, a lot of the mojo on these old guitars is the pickups. Is that an original?
Yes, it is
Okay.
original gold foil, and that was actually one of the reasons why I got it, because I was like, I really wanted a gold foil in my life.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing, I saw it and I was like, I really need to have this, because this whole,
Yeah.
it breaks up in such a cool way to me. Very useful on.
I know that it wasn't
records.
what it was happening, but it definitely sounds like satisfaction could come out of this guitar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
It's true.
Keith Richards.
You can get all very retro tones out of
Yeah.
that for sure.
And it's not the first Silvertone or like old kind of clunky guitar I've seen you with on like performances, like that NPR one. You had like a big hollow body.
I love that guitar. That's a Harmony H52.
Yeah.
Yes, I have definitely. I definitely look to kind of, if there's a guitar collector in me, it's the like old random, vintage guitar that's kind of cheap.
Yeah, yeah.
The old cheapies.
And I should have asked Graham and Bartees this specifically, but I'm going to ask you and pinpoint you down. Is a lot of you guys' different performances over the years, you guys, I've traded instruments. Like I've seen like that Nash Telly that's gotten passed around like a baton.
That's very true.
Yeah, so what was the mythology behind that or methodology behind that? Is that more like just like, this is what we have, so use it? Or is it, hey, these guitars were used in the recordings, so use it?
I think it is. I mean, there's just a bit of a guitar culture in the band,
Yeah.
as you know. So I think we enjoy. It's a combination of what's around,
Yeah.
for sure, which happens, but also, yeah, there's a bit of a trading thing that happens, and I know Bartees has used that Telly on some things that we've done in the past, and it kind of just what's around and
It's a carousel.
what makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll get you back
Yeah.
on the SG, and while you do that, we'll briefly hit on the amp back there, which
Yeah.
seems to be another Vox.
It is another Vox.
And which one is this particular? I love the tweed on this one, or the covering.
Yeah, actually, so our front of house person, Kitsy, lent me this for the tour, which I appreciate. Shout out.
Oh, killer.
It's a hand-wired AC-15, and I do like it a lot. It's my first time really playing a Vox other than like in rehearsal studios. or
Okay.
something like that. But I remember playing one actually at a rehearsal, and I was like, oh man, this is special. And I like, in some ways, Bartees' music is it's kind of the heaviest music I've played or been involved in.
Okay.
And so I was kind of leaned more towards the Fender amp thing, but then I saw kind of what the Vox could do and how much it could cut, and just like there was a power to the whole thing.
Yeah.
And so I've enjoyed that. But the other kind of thing that's interested me is actually the clean tone is the thing that has been like in Heavy Heart.
Okay.
I find with the hand-wired ones, I feel this definition in the kind of, I don't know, there's a fatter quality to it than the regular ones that I like a lot. But
Well, that's a good platform to jump off of, from like a good core tone, especially if you're already feeling and vibing on the clean tone. Now, yeah, you have all these tonal treats to go
yes, and a lot of these are gains actually.
So let's go right through them.
Go through the pedals.
Yeah.
So yeah, as much as the Morning Glory here is usually on, as much as I try to gain stage it so it's not,
Yeah.
it always ends up on somehow. Like in Escape the Circus, let me just.
It's like sugar and coffee. Just
I
it's always
can't
got
help
to have
it.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just sounds good. But in Escape the Circus, sometimes I do play with it off, put a little compression on, and a little modulation. Let's see, like. With the Morning Glory. It's kind of a subtle thing. But so that's the Morning Glory. Then the second stage, I go to this Matthews Effect Architect.
Okay.
And my main reason for getting this one was because it had the boost in a small enclosure,
Yeah.
which I thought was really amazing. And also has 3 different clipping modes, and it has the bass, middle, and treble. You got the 3-band thing, so I was just like, that sounds incredibly
Very versatile, and it has. You can't disregard the top mounted jacks too. That saves space too.
Yes, Absolutely. So something like Mustang, like. Goes pretty hard.
Yeah, I love that all of you guys have contributed your own parts to this rig rundown because it familiarizes the sounds that we all associate with the music.
Yeah.
Sometimes people are like, oh, I don't know what to play. Just play your music, man.
Yeah, exactly.
Play the riffs you play otherwise.
Exactly.
So it's great that you're doing that. So what's next?
And then, so yeah, it also has a boost, which I will use, which can be very useful to also just kind of boost this sound.
Okay.
But let's say, I'm going to stick with Mustang for a second. There are a couple times where I really want to go big, and as we were talking about before, there can be kind of like the wars between the guitars,
Yeah.
and where we're all kind of trying to get out in front. And this is one of those moments where. So that I found that actually I had a kind of distortion in that place for a while. And then I was like, you know what? I just want to boost.
That moment.
I just want to make it bigger.
Yeah, you're getting bigger because you're Lieutenant Dan. If he's the governor, you're the Lieutenant Governor.
There you
Sorry,
go.
I just put that on you for Forrest Gump, but I did. Lieutenant Dan.
That's not the first time I've gotten that in my life. But just going down the line real quick. So the Fuzzalo is kind of a new one for me. Still figuring it out. But there are just a couple times where I double bass lines.
Okay.
And I want it just to be huge.
Yeah.
And so like in a cab, for example.
Small pedal, huge sound.
Yes. Or let's see if I can get this gate to work. Yeah, there we go. Or like in Boomer, in this, I go.
Take
kind
that.
of shit. But and I don't know. I find that kind of fuzz to also there's like a playfulness there. I don't know. I've always kind of heard it as a playful thing.
Yeah.
Which can in Boomer is like, which is such a fun song.
Yeah.
I like what
to
that
let
does.
it rip.
Yeah. And then, so actually, the path of it is Morning Glory, Architect, Compression, Boost, Fuzz,
And
then it goes
up.
to the M1, the modulation.
Which kind of does a lot of things.
It does so many things. Bartees is letting me borrow this, and I've found just a couple of presets that I basically like in cosines, for example. I do kind of this compression thing, like. I add some reverb to that to make it. That kind of vibe. Pretty soupy. Spacey and soupy. And then that goes into this, that goes into here, the collider, which are my main reverbs and delays that I'm using. And that's all, I'm working off of presets, these 4 presets. It's really useful, just like, gets a lot done in those 2. And then that goes to the DD8, which I had a DD7 forever, and then recently kind of went down and I upgraded to this, which I really like. Because I use it for like slapback,
Okay.
for like, let's say Mulholland, that bit.
Yeah.
And
Which is a great part that you came up with.
thank you, I
Love it.
appreciate that. But yeah, so what's cool is that I'll cut the reverb there. We'll be like in this world. And then the chorus hits and we're...
Yeah.
And that's also another reason why I wanted the Bigsby, was for that part to...
Really let it glow.
Yeah. Yeah, so one last pedal is, and I got this from Bartees, I learned this trick from him, was just the distortion at the end of the chain, which I only use in Stone Meadows at the moment, but it's this I Was a Wolf in the Forest distortion, and so it gives me the ability to just make everything messy and fun. Like.
That does the trick.
Yeah, does the trick, and yeah, that was something I heard from him, and I was like, all right, I need to do that. Again, the guitar wars, you know, they continue.
Dan, thank you for
thanks so
Bartees
much.
and Graham. Appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Yeah,
Dan,
appreciate
it. You guys stay safe and keep rocking.
Gotta remember, like, I wasn't really shit until like a year and a half ago. Like, I was just in my basement and then playing guitars. My wife like, do the dish, like, do some shit other than play guitar, you know? Now all I do is play guitar, Dan. this is my wife now? Is that what you said? Oh no. I need to chill. I need to relax. I had a moment, just like, chill, relax. This is the last song we're gonna play. No, I have to say that, like, there's a way to make it longer. We all know. It's Nashville, you know. But I wrote this song like for the first time when I was like 15 years old. I used to play it all the time, but I didn't really know what it meant. It's a song called Hennessy, and I ended my record Farm to Table with it. I wrote it when I was a kid because like I felt like growing up there were all these little weird stereotypes I had to get over, kind of to become who I am. And the hook of the song is, and they say, black folks drink Hennessy, but I want you over me. Kind of to say like, I know there's all these expectations of like what a black person does or can't do or should do and shouldn't be doing, but I just want you to see me for who I am and like for what I'm trying to say. And I really appreciate y'all because you've done that, and that's why you're here. So thank you very much. So this one's for y'all. I took 3 lives that I need, watching reruns that I believed. Oh, I need mine, like I need other places I could be. And they say, black folks drink Hennessy, but I want you over me in the dark on a tree. But these days we don't talk anymore. We don't talk anymore. I never meant to say this. Some days I don't feel like I'm the man. I feel that from the bottom. I know I do some stuff you cannot stand. Oh, baby. And now I'm walking out the ocean. Alright. I'm dripping wet and it's because I can't swim. And they say, black folks drink Hennessy, but I want you over me in the dark on a tree. And still I swear, never break, I never fold. Hold you in my arms, remind you that you're old. Can't get a pain if I'm holding on to you. But still they say, black folks drink Hennessy, but I want you over me in the dark on a tree. Hennessy. 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 Yeah, 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 yeah. I want to introduce the band really quick. To my right, I've got the Berkshire Eagle, Dan Kleederman. Beautiful guitar player. Back here, I've got TK Johnson on the drummy drums. Kind of a monster for a 22-year-old. She turned 22 like yesterday. It's fucked up. Shout out to Instagram. To my back left, I've got this guy. When I moved to DC, I was like, I need a bass player. Does anyone know a bass player? And they're like, the best bass player in DC is John Days. And that's him, John Days. And this motherfucker over here, dirty. Played in country bands with this guy, jazz band, everything. Whatever, he can do it all. Graham Richman on the keys, the modular, and the guitars. And my name is Bartees motherfucking Strange. I said, I'm Bartees motherfucking Strange. Come on. And it was really nice to be here. Shout out to y'all, I love y'all. And talk to you later.